Welcome back to the reading vlog. Welcome back to the reading vlog. Welcome back to the reading vlog. And welcome back to Mr. Francy Reads. Let's go! Yes, hello my friends, and welcome back to Mr. Francy Reads. I am, of course, Mr. Francy, and I'm truly honoured that you've once again chosen to join me today as I finally do a reading vlog. It has been way too long. I need to check. Let me check how long it's been. My most recent reading vlog was the 9th to the 15th of February. Today, in Australian time, it is the 8th of March. I mean, it's a little bit ridiculous. I do apologise. But there have been some changes and I would like to keep you all up to date with them. And I do miss doing my reading vlogs. I really do. And especially with everything that's changed. I think now more than ever, I would love doing reading vlogs. So let's check in, do a little bit of, housekeeping, how are things going, and then we'll jump right on into the reading. Sound good? Alright, so at some point in the last month, February, we're now in March. Hello, welcome to March. Can you believe we are already in March of 2025? I can't. But, yes, in the month of February, at some point, I made a decision. That decision was ultimately going to affect the channel, and it has now played out. And if you're new, hello and welcome. If you're not, welcome back. If you are new, that decision was to follow my heart and become a mood reader. I had been saying for a very, very, very long time that I would not... That light is very much annoying me. That I would not be a mood reader. I don't want to be a mood reader. And I was battling myself constantly, saying, no, it's not gonna happen. But then it finally did. And my mood... Rather than it being your typical mood reader, which is I'm going to read what I want when I want, each time I pick up a book, mine was I was only in the mood to read a certain genre. That genre is cozy mysteries. So I decided and made the announcement, thank you for all your support, that I am now exclusively reading cozy mystery books, and that's all. If I want to read something else, I will when that time does come. So, that happened, and since then, there were no vlogs. But since then, I did change up the channel, and now I talk everything to do with cozies. I am doing a Cozy Mysteries that are available on audiobook series. If you haven't seen it, feel free to check it out. There are not enough series, in my opinion, that are available on audiobooks, so I want to spotlight that. I also am spotlighting a bingo board that I am doing, where I have 26 English-speaking letters of the alphabet, and each of those letters has a different cozy mystery series that I'd like to focus on and at least get to the first 2 books in. And so I've started doing a series where I'm talking about all of the each letter in each series. You know what I'm trying to say. So there's that too. But yeah, the vlogs kind of fell by the wayside. In my reading vlogs, I usually split them up into 3 sections, and I will today. So I usually split them up into personal life update, as well as what I'm reading and what I'm watching. I took out what I was watching because I thought that I would have dedicated videos to what I have been watching, but that hasn't happened. So it just for one reason or another, and I don't want to bombard you all with way too many videos. I know that I'm posting a lot lately anyway. Excuse me. Lenny laptop deciding to make some noises. Excuse me, we're trying to film here. Anyway, I've just muted that now. Yeah, so it just kind of fell by the wayside because I have so many that I'm bombarding you with that I didn't want to bombard you with even more. So I will do a TV watching update in this one as well. First of all, to the personal life update, and I have now had 2 extraction sessions at the dentist. This may make what I'm saying harder to understand. If it does, please do let me know in the comments section below. Sometimes I do need to slow down my talking so that you can understand me, and I work very hard with my jaw to try and come across as eloquently as I possibly can. So hopefully it's working for you, and if it's not, I'm sorry, and we'll have some translator pop up on the screen. But anyway, hopefully you know what I'm saying and you can understand me. But for those of you who weren't aware, long story very short, in a nutshell, I was born with a congenital disorder known as ameliogenesis imperfecta. This is a tooth disorder affecting my teeth and anyone else who has this disorder. What it means in a nutshell is that you are born without enamel, the hard protective layer that surrounds your teeth. I had done a whole ton of research into into dentists and things like that, and the costs that they were going to charge me were exorbitant. I mean, exuberant, whatever the heck the word is, you know what I'm trying to say. It was ridiculous. The latest dentist that I went to prior to the one I'm going to now wanted to charge me, get this, $100,000 for my procedure. And all I could think in my mind was, let me go rob 6 banks and I'll be right back. Like, I mean, has $100,000 just laying around? Are you kidding me? Anyway, so then I found out, thanks to some lovely people who had found out for me, that there is a government subsidized dentist, and they've been very helpful. This company's, because they work in alignment with the government themselves, anyone who's receiving welfare, which I am, if you're American, you may think of this as Social Security. We call it something different over here, but I am on a welfare payment at the moment, and because I am, I qualify for this dentist. There was a plan that was put into place. Ultimately, what we're planning to do is extract all of the teeth from my top and bottom row and replace them with dentures. I can't wait for this day. I'm very excited. So we'll see how things go. I had my first appointment with them, which was a consultation to map out the plan. The second one was a general cleaning. The third one was my first lot of extractions, which they took out 4 teeth from which side? This side. My right, the top right going from the back. And then my second extraction, which was last week or the week before, one of the two, I had the 3 from the back on the top left taken out. He only took out 3 that time. I have 3 upcoming appointments, all scheduled on different dates. The first one was a month after the third extraction was set for a month after the second one. The next lot of extractions, I think, is like 2 weeks later, and I think the one after is like 1 week later, or the reverse of those with the last 2 appointments. It's really weird how it's done, but anyway, I don't know. There's no rhyme or reason to it, but anyway, so that's the process I'm in now. Once all of my teeth are removed, I will go on to an emergency waiting list to get my dentures. Normally it takes a significant amount of time, but because I was born with the congenital disorder that I do have, I am on a much higher priority wait list, and they said that wait list will be somewhere between 1 to 3 months. So it's going to take a lot of the year for this to happen, but I'm really glad that it is happening. It's been an interesting ride. The first lot of extractions were, I dealt with that a lot better than I thought I would. My only real big issue was when I came home from the first appointment, I had the gauze in my mouth, and that gauze, I don't like gauze. I don't know anyone who likes having gauze in their mouth, but I like to be understood when I speak, and so having gauze in your mouth and I'm like, can you understand me? It's really horrible. But anyway, once I'd taken the gauze out after that first lot of extractions, and, you know, it started healing and everything, it was all fine. The good news being that having the 4 taken out from this side meant that I still had teeth on top and bottom on this side, so I could still chew on this side. But then with the second lot of extractions, because they took out the 3 from the back on this side, it made eating a lot harder. I ended up developing some, what you may call, I think they're called canker sores in the US, so mouth ulcers everywhere else, and that was extremely hard. Anything I tried to consume, whether it be food or drink, food that I didn't even have to chew, like just really easy stuff to consume, it was so horribly painful, and I don't want to scare anyone off from this procedure because I'm so thankful that it's actually happening. I've been waiting years and years and years and years, like decades, if not longer, to get this done. So anyway, I am thankful. But just to provide the honesty, anytime I would consume any drink, any food, I would be in so much pain that my teeth were chattering. And you know, if your teeth are chattering when you're in pain, that's a lot of pain. It's like the body can't cope with it. So that was horrible. Then I spoke to a dear friend of mine, and thank you, you know who you are, who recommended something for me. We had something similar here in this country. I got that. I used that product. It's a numbing agent, a numbing and helping with the healing agent, and that really did seem to help, and I haven't needed to use that since, so that is good. But yeah, at the same time, of course, you know, my diet, what I eat and what I drink has changed over time, so there you go. Alright, that being said, let's talk about watching. I have been focusing on 3 different shows at the moment. The first, it has not been a buddy watch, but the other 2 have been. So let's quickly put some shows up on the screen. First show we're going to talk about is Sweet Magnolias. I am currently watching the 2nd season? I don't know. I didn't write down. I believe so. 2nd, 3rd, 2nd. Yes, 2nd. I've just finished it. I'm sorry, I'm not currently watching it. I have finished it. I just completed the 2nd season of Sweet Magnolias. This is an amazing show. Anyone out there who loves Gilmore Girls or that type of setup where you have a small town and, you know, it's like cozy and stuff like that, you're gonna love this show. It really is fantastic. One of the main reasons that I was motivated to watch this is because of a secondary main character. And yep, all of those words, secondary main character, whose name in real life is Brooke Elliott. Brooke Elliott in this show plays the role of Dana Sue. I used to watch Brooke Elliott in a show that I became obsessed with very quickly called Drop Dead Diva. In that show, Brooke Elliott played the protagonist Jane, who was basically Elle Woods. She was we start off with a different actress in the pilot episode of Drop Dead Diva. She's on her way to audition to become a model for The Price is Right. She ends up in a car accident and dies. At the same time, a plus-sized lawyer is shot and she dies. The model goes up there, call it what you want, goes up there, up above, and ends up pressing a return button, and the soul of the model ends up inside the body of the plus-sized lawyer. So now this model, who was Deb, is Jane, with Jane's smarts and is an attorney, but the model was always a very bright and bubbly personality. So think, for example, Legally Blonde, in a way, becoming a TV show. And yeah, it was a whole lot of fun. I loved that show. So when I found out that Brooke Elliott was now in Sweet Magnolias, I thought I would give it a go. Spoke to Mama Francy. Mama Francy loves this show. And she said, you're going to love it. You love Gilmore Girls. You'll love this show. So I watched episode 1, the pilot episode, fell in love, and now I can't stop watching. It is really fantastic. I highly recommend this show. The next show I'm going to bring up is a buddy watch that we are doing on my dear friend Jessica's channel. Jessica's YouTube channel, booktube channel, is called Lady Lovestead Reads. Her Discord server is called The Lovestead. Over there, we are watching The Good Witch. Oh my goodness, Catherine Bell as Cassie is amazing. I am currently watching this one. So we are watching season 2 this month. We buddy watched, for those of you wondering, just like with a buddy read, a buddy watch is a situation where you get a group of people together and you'll watch the same show together. So yeah, we're buddy watching this at the moment, and it has just been an absolute blast for me. It's called The Good Witch because Cassie is able to do things that make people think she might be a witch, but don't go into this show thinking it's a paranormal or fantasy show, because I wouldn't call it that, not at all. Again, we deal with a small town cast of characters, and it is just fantastic. From Cassie herself to her really beautiful daughter Grace, Cassie's one-liners are just wow, like really, really, really good. The mayor, oh my god, Mayor Martha Tinsdale will have you in stitches laughing every episode. Love her, love everyone. It's just a fantastic ride. So I highly, highly, highly recommend this one. And if you'd like to join us for the season 2 buddy watching season 1 and 2, if you haven't seen any of it this month, then head on over to Lady Lovestead Reads YouTube channel. In her description, she has the link to her Discord server, the Lovestead. We would love to have your company. Over on my Discord server, the Sparkle Cafe, we are doing a buddy watch of Stranger Things. Now, this has been an interesting ride for me. Very interesting. So, last month in, where were we? February, so the month before. In January, we watched season 1, in February season 2, and this month we're going to watch season 3. I have not started season 3 yet. I'm going to be honest with you all. I watched the pilot episode of, the pilot episode, season 1, episode 1, in January, and I thought, I don't know if I'm going to like this. I watched episode 2, thought the same thing. Don't know if I'm gonna like this, but it's a buddy watch. I'm gonna keep going. And then season 1 episode 3 happened, and I binged my way through season 1, binged my way through season 2 in February, and I'm now looking forward to season 3. So do be mindful that if you're anything like me, it's a bit of a slow start, and I wasn't on board in the first episode, I wasn't on board in the second episode, but from episode 3 onwards, I was. There's not a lot I can say, because everything in Stranger Things is very much a spoiler, but all I will say is this. We start off the pilot episode with these 4 boys. They're playing a game or something. Then they go home. Overnight, one of the boys ends up going missing. And so this starts a journey of trying to find out what happened. With the title Stranger Things, I don't think it's a spoiler to suggest that this boy going missing, it wasn't a standard situation of, some horrible person grabbed them and locked them away and we're trying to find where he is. No, I wouldn't even call it fantasy or paranormal. I would call it sci-fi, to be honest. But anyway, I think that it's been absolutely fascinating, and I'm just going to name drop a character name. I'm not going to say anything about that character. I'm just going to name drop a character name. Your boy, Mr. Francy, is in love with the character of 11. I'm just gonna say that. No one harms my 11. You harm my 11, we're gonna have issues. So, keep an eye out for 11. I'm sure you will love 11 as much as I do. But yeah, it's a really, really good show. It's set, quite a while ago. I think it's set in like the 70s or 80s, something like that. So it's not set in modern day. But yeah. It's really, really intriguing, and I didn't think it would be after episode 1 and episode 2 of season 1, but from episode 3 onwards, I won't say what happens, but at the end of episode 3 in season 1, something big happens that caught my attention. So I needed to watch episode 4 right away, and from then on, I just couldn't stop watching. So, absolutely love it and can't wait to get back to that one. Alright, I'm going to pause quickly, take a sip of my drink, and then we will return and talk books. Okay, time to talk books, everyone. So, it is currently in Australia the 8th of March, which means that we are into day 8 of the month. So, what have I been reading for the first 7 days, because I haven't read today, so for the first 7 days. Well, I'm glad you asked. The first book that I picked up in the month of March, let's keep in mind I'm exclusively reading cozy mysteries at the moment. The first book that I picked up was this book, Murder in the Dressing Room by Holly Stars. And as you can imagine, seeing this cover, it is a cozy mystery that follows a drag queen. Yee! I love RuPaul's Drag Race. I love all things drag. This was fantastic. I've got to be honest with you, just like with Stranger Things, I wasn't so hooked on the book from the first chapter or even maybe the second chapter, but from the third chapter onwards, it was absolutely fantastic. I ended up giving this book 4 stars. So we basically follow the main character, Misty. This series is the Misty Divine series, and Holly Stars herself is actually a drag queen, so its own voices that it's written in as well. So in this one, I'd say we follow Misty Divine, and Misty Divine's drag mother, aka her mentor in drag, Lady, has been found. I'm sorry, I love that name, Lady. Lady has been found murdered in her dressing room, and it is incredibly suspicious. Who would want to kill Lady? She's a lovely person. It just doesn't make any sense. Well, Misty learns very early on when she's being interrogated by the detective that the detective actually doesn't care that Lady died. The detective doesn't exactly state that they don't care, but the way that they're acting, there is a case that they're trying to solve at the moment about theft that is going on, the cat burglar thief or something they're calling them, because a lot of high-priced items have been stolen. That was a pre-existing case excuse me, before this book began. And the detective seems focused on that because Lady died in a dress that was stolen by this cat burglar thief. So the detective seems to be more thinking along the lines of, yeah, we'll solve the murder, but more importantly, we need to know where they got the dress from. And, Misty Divine walks out of the excuse me. Sorry, my voice keeps going in and out there, and it was just really annoying me. Misty walks out of the interrogation knowing that she needs to solve this because the cops clearly don't care that Lady has died. So she ultimately ends up teaming up with her partner. That's another thing I loved about this book. Misty is not looking for a romance. She already is in one. She has a boyfriend. They live together. They've been living together for years. They're very happy. So I loved that. No love triangle happening here. And yeah, it was just absolutely fantastic. I really hope that Holly Stars continues on with this series because I think we need series like this. I don't know if there are any other drag queen series out there. If there are, let me know in the comments below. But this was really well done. I will say it's on the grittier side of the cozy mystery, so do be mindful of that. But the cozy side, being drag as the theme, was done really, really well. I really, really enjoyed this. 4 stars from me. So the next book that I picked up was this book, Sleight of Paw by Sophie Kelly. This is book number 2 in the A Magical Cats mystery series, and I gave book number 1 in this series an overwhelming 5 stars. I gave this book an incredibly underwhelming 3 stars. Yeah, this one really just was not for me, and I was speaking with my dear friend Pat. We are doing a buddy read, not just Pat and myself, me, Pat, and others are doing a general buddy read of this series over on my Discord server. What do I mean by general? Well, I'm very glad you asked. I basically mean that we are buddy reading the series together, but you can read whatever book you're up to whenever you want to, just that we're all talking together about the series. So it's a general buddy read rather than a structured one. And, I was talking to my dear friend Pat. We both rated the book 3 stars for the exact same reason. It really didn't feel like a Sophie Kelly book. The way that the first book was done was, as I said, if you'd seen my videos on, Curiosity, I had to think there. Curiosity Thrilled the Cat, book number 1. It was extremely cozy. I loved the characters. I loved the setting. I love, the cats. I love the cozy side. I liked the mystery. I loved it. I just loved it all. Where with this one, it just didn't feel cozy. It didn't feel right to me. It was very off for me. Now, the good news is that this book that I hold in my hands took forever to get here. It arrived yesterday. The funny thing is, I not only had book 1, I had book 3 before this one even arrived. The good thing about that is that I am going to read book 3 no matter what. I learned a lesson very early on with cozies. If you read a cozy mystery book in a series, be it book 1 or a further one down the line, and you didn't like it, read the next one. Then if you don't like it, then DNF. Because sometimes, there can be a standalone book, but there can be a book in a cozy mystery series that is a bit of a dud, but that's just how it is. Great example, that second row there, the Coffee House Mystery Series. Some of those books got 3 stars from me, and then others got overwhelming 5 stars. It just happens. So this one was a dud for me. I really did not enjoy it. Average rating of 3 stars, but I absolutely will be reading book number 3 in, where are we now? We're in March now, so in April. Alright, so that leads me to what I'm currently reading. So I came off of Sleight of Paw feeling a bit, like I was in a bit of a slog, a bit, let down, a bit, I don't know. I really hope this next book is at least okay. I was in that sort of mood. And so I picked up this book, Mrs. Morris and the Ghost by Tracy Wilton, which is book number 1 in the Salem B&B Cozy Mystery Series. It's really interesting because they don't have the series title anywhere on the cover, and I'm used to it being there. For example, A Magical Cat's Mystery. For example, A Misty Divine Mystery. And yet, on this first book, nowhere does it say a Salem B&B Cozy Mystery anywhere on the cover or on the side. It's just not there. But anyway, letting that go. So I picked up this one hoping it would be okay. And let me tell you, it is more than okay. This is absolutely amazing. So now, what's her name again? Charlene. Okay, so Charlene has a horrible backstory, but let me just put it this way. Her husband died. So she has now decided she's going to have a big change in her life. She's moved interstate to Salem. She has purchased a mansion in Salem, and all she's done is she saw pictures of it online, but she never did an actual physical walkthrough. She saw the pictures, purchased the place, and she's now looking for a sea change, so to say, moving interstate to this mansion. She's going to run a B&B. Fantastic. Now, because her husband died, and because her name is Charlene Morris, that's why the title of the book is called Mrs. Morris. So there you go. So anyway, she gets into this mansion thing, and she's really, really happy. She's looking around going, oh, yay, it's exactly like the pictures. Because, she's thinking, did they just show me nice pictures online or whatever? And here I am thinking, you took a massive risk. You purchased this without doing a walkthrough of the place. What if it was completely dilapidated? What if they took these pictures and the place had been burnt to the ground before you even arrived? Like, that's a massive risk. But anyway, so she looks around and, she's very happy. It is exactly as the pictures suggested that they would be. It looks exactly how it was advertised, which is good. There are a few things that are wrong with the place that she'll need to fix up, but otherwise it's fantastic. All of a sudden, she hears a person's voice and gets a bit scared. And she says, what are you doing at my house? You need to go. And then we come to realize, I can say this because of the title of the cover, it's a dead giveaway, just reading the title, that this person is a ghost. And I was explaining to Mama Francy, I said, being that this is a cozy mystery, think of the ghost's personality of being more like Casper, or if you're American, Casper. We say our ERs as so we say Casper in Australia. Yeah, think of Casper. You're like, hi, I'm Casper. Woohoo! He's not a child, the ghost, but he's a really nice ghost. He's a friendly ghost. And yeah, it was just a really intriguing conversation that the pair of them have. She ends up stumbling across a cat that she just came from out of nowhere, and she doesn't know what's going on with the cat. Anyway, this ghost guy can't leave the house. He is bound, as is general with ghost lore, Lore, lore. He can't leave till the murder is solved. So he was murdered. He wants Mrs. Morris to find out why he was murdered. I am there, which is chapter 6, 56 pages in. I am having an absolute blast with this book. This is what I needed after this. This is fantastic. I love it, love it, love it. So far, I cannot say anything bad about it because it's been a wild ride and I'm really enjoying it. So, that's that. What is my plan for the week moving forward? I am so glad you asked. So I plan to finish off Mrs. Morris and the Ghost. Once that's done, I will be picking up my favourite cozy series of the year so far, bar none. Every single book's got 5 stars, and that will be this book, Be Careful What You Wish For by Linda Riley. This is book number 4 in the Grilled Cheese Cozy Mystery series. I cannot wait to get back to this world of the Grilled Cheese Eatery with our dear friend whose name I keep forgetting. How wrong is that I keep forgetting? Carly Hale. And then after that, I am picking up a book that was actually recommended to me by my dear friend Ro, which is this book, Murder with Lemon Tea Cakes. It is book number 1 in the Daisy's Tea Garden mystery series by Karen Rose Smith. So that is the plan. Alright everyone, that is where I'm going to leave it for this reading vlog. There was a lot to catch up on. There won't be as much next time, and I think next time it'll be fully dedicated to just reading, but I hope you understood why this one had a whole lot more in it, because there was a lot more to catch up on. Letting you all go with peace, blessings, and so much love. Please do be kind, love one another, and spread your sparkling energy all throughout the world. And until next time, happy reading. Bye, everyone.